Hi guys, it's Amy with Aim to Plan, and today I'm going to be talking work plans and personal plans. So I am continuing with this deep dive planner series. I remember the very first video where I was saying that I am going to record just a handful of videos. I am approaching like double handfuls at this point. So that's amazing. I clearly can talk a lot about my planner system. But yes, definitely. Once I started talking, there were so many different nuances to how my planner system is set up and how I use my planner system that I don't know. I just felt like it was just necessary. Not necessary, but like it was just informative to be able to explore these different components of my planner system in different videos. So I hope you are enjoying this mini series. I will continue recording them until, I run out of things to say, which I don't know that I would run out of things to say. So it might be just like a permanent thing where I'm just kind of talking about the how of my functional planner system. So yeah, just let me know if that continues to be of interest to you. I have been enjoying them, so I will still record them. But yeah, I definitely like to get the feedback on what you would want to hear more about. So please do leave comments if there's anything that catches your ear or you see something that you want to have me explain a little bit more. So, like I said, today's video I think will be fairly short, but I'm going to be talking about how I personally make the distinction between work events and personal events. This video is all about talking about when do I make the decision for when a work event goes into my personal planner. I do try to keep the separation very clear for myself. Like my work stuff lives on my Outlook calendar or it lives in this planner. Again, this is really just like a big giant record of what I do every day. It's not really why I do plans because all of my plans for work are on my calendar, digital calendar. But there are cases where things from work do impact my personal life. And so for me, the big decision is always when will work events kind of conflict or coincide or impact my family? And when the answer to the question is it does impact my family in some way, that's when I move it to my personal planner. And I wanted to show you an example of that, just to be able to highlight like my thought process and how I make sure that things that are in work get moved to my personal planner. Now, I'll go ahead and as I move this to the side, there's really not anything. I brought it just to show you that I have a work planner, but there's really not anything in there that I'm going to be showing you. So I want to just kind of talk to you about an example here that has recently come to mind. I recently received notification that we are going to be doing graduation for my university, and it will be in August. And so for the graduation, it's not going to be a single day. It, in fact, will be something where I'm out for about 5 days, 5 or 6 days. They're not quite sure if it's going to be 5 days. There's some like planning still involved with that, right? Again, for me, because it is a work event, it is on my Outlook calendar. That's the only place that it lives for work. I do once it gets to the week, I like to go ahead and put it into my work planner again, just for my benefit. I really could live just on my Outlook calendar, but for the sake of making the decision for moving it to my personal calendar, this is something because I'm out for 5 days, it will impact my family. I have to make plans for my kids. I have to make sure that there's someone who's watching them while I'm gone. I have to travel out of town. And so I need to make plans while my kids are at home with me to be able to do that. Some of that I can do during work hours, but a lot of it will be things that I need to coordinate that are with my kids, right? So they might want to, for example, go with me for part of it. So there are things that are personally related to this work trip. All right. For that reason, then, because it does impact or like spill over into my personal life, I do also mark it in my personal planner. And so, again, I just wanted to show this planner to you. I'm not going to even flip through it because I'm not in August yet, but I wanted to show you where this is housed in my personal planner, right? I put graduation right there, right? And again, I do try to write everything in this book. I have a video talking about like future planning and where things live. Because I'm not to August yet, it only lives in this cute little book. It also lives on my calendar, Google Calendar digitally, but this is where it is in terms of my paper version, right? Once August comes around, it will be moved to my monthly spread, right? We're getting into March, but I don't have my March ready, you guys. So we're gonna show February again. I have in here, I don't think, Okay, this is not a great example because I didn't mark anything in here that was spillover for work. So this was not a great example. Maybe in the daily pages, there might be some good examples. Sometimes I will have events that are not like a long-term or like 5-day work trip like graduation was. I might have events that are, just, at the same time that I normally pick up the kids, or that spill over into some of that, like I have to get my husband to pick up the kids because I'm working, right? I don't see any in these kind of flip throughs here. Right, and again, I would have something, okay, here's a good example, all right? This is not work, but it's kind of the same concept. If I had a work event, I would just actually put the work event directly in here, okay? Just because I think it's really helpful to be able to see that there's something that's occurring out of normal work hours for me, and that I have to make sure that the kids are settled, they have their snack, they're doing something, right? So this is a leadership event, but it's the same kind of concept where I need to write it down, right? I do the same thing for work. I feel like I did a couple of trainings in February, but honestly now it's like March and I can't remember. So I apologize for not being able to give you a great example of this. Sometimes I do have like work events that pop up during the week. I wouldn't actually put this into my monthly spread. Well, I should really, but I don't because it is like that day. And so those end up in my daily page. I just don't go back and put it in my monthly spread. I use this for like future planning. But if it occurs that day or for the next day, I just write it on the daily page for that day. Right, and again, this was not a great example. I guess the best example that I was able to show you in this video was graduation. It's really just, again, for me, making sure that any work event, even though it's for work and I try to keep work separate from personal, there are some work events that impact my personal life. And if there is any impact, like if it impacts my pickup time for my kids, if it's something where I have to make arrangements for my kids or do planning with my kids, it goes into my personal planner as well. So I hope that was a helpful explanation for how I allow certain things to cross the boundary between work and personal life. I try to keep them very distinct if at all possible, but you can't do that. It can't be 100%. I don't have an 8 to 5 job where I can just drive to work, leave work there, and never talk about work at home, right? That's not the type of job that I have. And so there is going to be some spillover, but I do try to minimize it. So I didn't have great examples, but I hope you understood what I was trying to intend with this video. I hope the explanation was helpful for you. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do give it a thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, subscribe to my channel, and until the next video, bye guys.